Welcome, everybody, to the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show series. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. So nice to see all your smiley faces. If you're joining us for the first time, we welcome you to our fabulous show that celebrates life in so many different ways, with celebrity guests and friends coming in from Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, sports, comedy, inspiration, you name it. And we've done over 700 episodes in just the last 2 years, bringing you great entertainment, poignant conversations, and lots of surprises. As a matter of fact, we have a veteran of television, film, stage extraordinaire joining us. Yes, I know you guys are very excited. You've been commenting all day on social media. It is my pleasure in just a second to welcome this fine gentleman, Richard Kline. You know him, of course, as Larry Dallas on Three's Company, but so much more. That's a claim to fame, yes, but so many more things he's been involved in. He's an extraordinary award-winning theater director, television director, actor, acting coach, and teacher as well. He teaches acting in New York City. He's a veteran of Broadway, television, and film. And as I mentioned, award-winning television theater director as well. He's known to millions of television watchers as Larry Dallas on the classic sitcom Three's Company. The only actor to actually appear in both spin-offs of that series, and his many television credits include Richie in the later seasons of It's a Living and Jeff Beznick in No One Knows Best. Also, The Resident and recurring on Bluebloods, fabulous series on CBS, The Americans, Gilmore Girls, Judging Amy, and you thought he was just on Three's Company, huh? That 70s show, NYPD Blue, another great show. Dream On, LA Law, Mary Tyler Moore, one of the first television shows for him. Maude, yeah, I think it was like 3 episodes he did of Maude with B. Arthur. 4 Love Boats as well. He's originally from New York. He attended Queens College, holds a master's degree in theater from Northwestern University, and he's been teaching acting since 1998 in both Los Angeles and in New York. He's appeared on Broadway as Old Joe in Waitress following a national tour. He was the wizard in the National Company of Wicked at the Paper Mill Playhouse. He was a kid twist opposite Harry Connick Jr., yes, in The Sting. And previous to that, he appeared on Broadway in November. After serving as a lieutenant in Vietnam, Richard made his professional debut at the prestigious Lincoln Center Repertory Company back in 1971. And he's got an incredible array of regional theater credits on his list as well. Extraordinary. He became involved in theater and made his debut back in 71 as well. You know, on Three's Company, he played Larry Dallas, neighbor, used car salesman, best friend to John Ritter's Jack Tripper. And he appeared in 110 episodes of Three's Company from 1977 to 84 as Larry Dallas. And in the spin-off shows The Ropers in 1979 and Three's a Crowd in 1985. He also had the distinction of being the only character besides Jack Tripper, as I mentioned, to appear on Three's Company and both of those spin-offs. His television and big screen appearances include hosting 2 game show pilots, Jumble in 1988, To Tell the Truth in 1990, which was great. And also, in addition to all of that, he also subbed for Charles Nelson Riley as a guest panelist on Sweethearts for a week of shows in December 88. And his game show celebrity appearances included both the $25,000 Pyramid, the $100,000 Pyramid, Super Password, multiple appearances on the Match Game, Hollywood Squares Hour, and so much more. 2010, he was cast as the Wizard in the national tour, the first national tour of Wicked as well. And he was also just recently in Connecticut at the beautiful Westport Country Playhouse. We're going to talk about that in just a second. He was also in It Should Have Been You, directed by David Hyde Pierce and starring Tyne Daly, and much, much more. This, again, is just the short list. Not that long ago, just a few years ago, he reunited with the Three's Company cast, Joyce DeWitt, and as well Jenna Lee Harrison and Priscilla Barnes back in 2016 at the Hollywood Show in suburban Chicago, autograph memorabilia event, meeting fans and signing autographs, and so much more.
Superstar.
Let yourself go to Pizza Hut. Get more of what you go for. You're the superstar.
It's like pizza on top of pizza.
When you want your favorite pizza with a lot more topping.
I expected more, but not this much more.
We'll pile it on till there's just no stopping.
There's Pizza has style. Super style.
Let yourself go to Pizza Hut. Get more of what you go for. Go to
Super style.
Don't just ask for a light beer.
Light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light, the less filling light beer with a first name and taste. Because everything else
Ah, the dining car.
is just a light. You tried delicious stovetop stuffing mix for pork?
Maureen, we having pork chops tonight?
Right, honey.
I got a great idea. Instead of potatoes,
What, honey?
stovetop stuffing.
Isn't stovetop for chicken?
There's also one specially seasoned to go with pork. Sounds really tasty.
Is that a fact?
This stuffing is absolutely perfect with pork.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
Stovetop stuffing mix for pork.
And that's a fact. And I mentioned the game shows too, right? Here he is on the $25,000 pyramid.
Richard, Debbie, you've been strategizing here for the last few seconds. The fact of the matter is, if you win the $25,000, Debbie, you'll be up to $36,600, which is not chicken feed. That's good stuff. Right. You needed a new car, you got the new car. What more can we do for you, my dear?
Nothing. Just keep enjoying this. This is excellent.
Let's win it. Let's do it. Here is your first subject. Go.
The attendant, the oil, the pumps.
Things at a service station.
The
Gas
pumps.
station, at a
Yeah.
gas station.
I'm here in my scabbard, and I will run you through.
What a sword would say.
Potato chips, pretzels.
Snacks.
Yeah. By sign language.
How you communicate.
Your new car.
Things you win.
Your voter application.
Things you have a registration for.
A biblical lamb.
Things that are sacrificed.
That is terrific. Please sit here. Folks, you've knocked the old island off its skids. You're all jumping on this thing that's going around like...
I get so excited when they win, and we get nothing.
I'm not psyched at all, guys. Whew.
$36,600 in a car. And Carol, you've won $25,500 in a trip to Fiji. It's been a pretty good 4 days.
Yes.
Do you wish to say anything to your former opponent back
Hey,
here?
I want to tell her we're going to remain pals. This has been excellent.
All right. Terrific. We'll be right back. I saw that. I said, he's got to say a...
And here he is himself, coming to us not from Fiji.
Oh, boy.
But boy, she must have loved you. You helped her get $25,000. Can you do that for us tonight?
I was actually excited watching that. I haven't seen that in a long, long time.
Oh, yeah.
I also haven't seen me eating pizza at Pizza Hut in a long time.
And the stovetop stuffing and the Bud Light. And
I know. I was very fortunate when I got out of the Army in 71, and I started doing commercials.
Yeah.
And this was 5 years before I went to Los Angeles. So I was very fortunate in doing quite a few commercials. I mean, the ones that you actually unearthed there, those are national commercials. And so I never had to have another job. I never had to wait tables or whatever. But I can't believe you actually found those.
Yeah, cool stuff, huh?
Yeah. And, the thing about the pyramid, the very first time I'm backstage with whoever my celebrity opponent was, and Dick Clark. And Dick Clark's back there. And Dick Clark says, every time I have some downtime, I love to watch your show. And I went, Dick Clark is watching Three's Company. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
You don't think that those people are watching your show. You think like, non-celebrities or whatever. But I was so impressed that he was watching the show.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. It's cool stuff. And he was great. Wasn't he terrific?
Oh,
yeah.
I think I did the show about 8 times. and then I met him subsequently at ABC events, and he was always an extremely gracious and funny guy.
Yes, very much so.
Just a gentleman, just a nice person.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were showing some of that just to show, a little snippet of some of the versatility and the incredible things you've done over, the many years of being in the industry. And of course, you teach as well. And we'll talk about the workshops and all the other cool things you do. You're a New York kid, right? We were just talking before we went live on the air, both originally from New York, and you grew up in the city in Queens. Right. So early on for you then, Richard, and it's so great to have you here. We welcome you to the Jim Master Show Live. If you look back a little bit, what were some of those early inspirations to want to go into the arts, to go into comedy and television and stage?
I've been asked that, what made you become an actor or whatever. And the psychological explanation is my sister is 3 years older than me, studied ballet. And my mother would drag me to her ballet classes, and I was impressed with and they do mini performances and whatever, and I was impressed with that. I thought that was really cool, and so probably, I'm not a shrink, but probably to gain attention to me, I was always funny, or at least I thought I was funny, and I would entertain the relatives, whatever, with jokes. It didn't do me too good in elementary school, because I think I went to the principal about 3 times trying to make people laugh. And, so I don't know if you call that an inspiration. I was very fortunate in junior high school in Jackson Heights, Queens, to have a mentor, the English teacher, who then, directed the school play or whatever. And the very first play I did was a play by Thornton Wilder in junior high school. And I guess my cousin Emily was there in the audience with my family, and she came backstage and she said, "You made me cry. You were so wonderful." And I went, "Wow, that's powerful." It's like, wow, really? Okay. So then I was bitten. I had the bug.
That was it. So then what was the first thing that happened for you? Then you have the bug, but then you have to, we were sort of fortunate growing up, near everything really with New York right there, and Broadway and television and everything's right there. And that's a great advantage. But for you, what was the first thing? Were you doing plays in school, and how were you really sort of honing your craft?
I do remember the first play I saw was West Side Story. It was a school trip. Bryant High School in Astoria / Long Island City. Yeah, right. Our class went to where I think I might have been in the Winter Garden Theater then. I'm not sure, but you can look it up. And I was just, totally blown away. But junior high school, I did a couple of plays in junior high school. That really cemented it. But then in high school, there was no drama program. So I became the sports editor of my high school paper, and I would go to Madison Square Garden, and our teams would go there, or covered baseball out in Staten Island, whatever. Yeah. But then when I went to Queens College, I just happened to peek into their theater. It was a 700-seat theater out there in Flushing, Queens. Yeah. And I went, wow, this is really cool. I think I'll be a speech major. Okay. So the first show I saw there was a drama by Euripides called, what was it called? It was not Iphigenia, whatever. It was Antigone. I'm sorry, Antigone. Yeah. Yes. Well, there's an old Greek playwright joke. The guy goes into a tailor, and the tailor says, "Euripides," and the guy says, "Eumenides," whatever. It's a Greek joke. It actually just went over my head. I don't even know what it means. But anyway, but then Queens College, I was doing everything: singing, dancing, acting, blah blah blah. And then Northwestern, the same thing. And but my career, as it was on hold because I got drafted out of Northwestern. So 3 years as a lieutenant.
Vietnam, yes. And what were you, when you were there, there were some things that you were doing, right? Did you take on like certain positions while you were there? You were lieutenant, but some other activities while you were there as well?
Oh, you mean in Vietnam? Or,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I was stationed in Fort Ord, California, and I was what is known as the Special Service Officer. I was in charge of a $2 million budget, about 60 people. There was, there was sports, there was movies, there was golf courses, there was libraries and movie theaters, whatever. And so when I got to Vietnam, I thought I was going to lead a combat unit because I was an engineer officer, and that's what they did. But they looked at my file and they said, "Oh, you were special service officer. You want to do that for the 101st Airborne Division?" So that's what I did. I was very fortunate that I didn't, have to go out to the boonies.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get over the guilt of that, but this is not that type of show. We provided films for the troops. We had a film circuit where the helicopters would go out to the fire bases with movies, and they would put up a sheet when it got dark and show movies. And that's when all combat stopped, because apparently the Viet Cong were very fond of Raquel Welch.
Yeah.
No, but we did stuff like that. We organized an Olympic Games in the city of Hue, which is the ancient city of Hue. We did a lot for the troops, and in that respect, it makes me feel good. So there you go.
So when you came back home, did you dive right back into the arts, or was there a little bit of a space?
I dove right back in. I auditioned for a clearing company called TCG, Theater Communications Group, and that's how I got the parts on at the Lincoln Center Repertory Company, because in those days it was a repertory company and they did 4 shows a year. I did a show with Blythe Danner, who is Gwyneth Paltrow's mother. As a matter of fact, we did 12th Night together, and while we were doing the show, Blythe was carrying Gwyneth. Yeah. So that sort of started the ball rolling. I got an agent out of that particular gig. As a matter of fact, Blythe Danner's husband, Bruce Paltrow, who was a producer on St. Elsewhere, the show, he introduced me to Blythe's agent, and I auditioned for there, and they took me. And the rest is game show history.
I was going to say, absolutely right.
Yeah. So I worked a little bit in New York, and then my agent said, you should go to California, because there's so much TV out there and movies. So I go out there, and the first job I get is with Mary Tyler Moore in the final season.
Yeah,
which was, I just remember sitting in that room on a Monday morning, and there's Mary and Ed Asner and Gavin MacLeod and Betty White, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the big league. This is the big league.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember the night of the taping, Friday night taping, I'm sitting backstage. I played a prosecuting attorney who was trying to get news sources out of Beverly, and I put Ted Knight on the stand. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I remember being back there and just sort of like trying not to freak out. And Betty White came over during a break, and she said, "You're going to be fine." That's Betty White.
Yeah, okay? Absolutely right.
Yeah. It gives me chills just to think about it. It was just such a gracious freaking thing to do.
Incredible cast. Cloris Leachman, Georgia Engel, like you say, Ted Knight. Just extraordinary. Even John Amos was in there as the sports guy too. Top tier talent on that show. So they were all welcoming, and it was a great experience. For the debut to be the Mary Tyler Moore show, the family back home must have been like, well, oh my God, there must have been, cheering in the streets for you back home.
Yeah. And in those days, we didn't have DVRs.
Right. So it aired as it aired.
You sat down at 9:00 on Thursday to
CBS, and you watched it, right? Exactly. So you're on the Mary Tyler Moore show, and those episodes, your phone must have started ringing from there. That's
here's what happened. Whoever cast Mary Tyler Moore, and I think it was a woman by the name of Meryl O'Loughlin. She also cast all of Norman Lear's productions. So don't you know? I get a call for my agent to audition for Maude, because that's the same producers. And then I did 3 Maudes, and that was like a PhD in comic acting, to sit in that rehearsal room for 3 weeks to watch B. Arthur and watch her.
Oh yeah.
And how they all work together, and it's like.
Yeah, I had always heard that cast was it was like a family, that she always wanted it where everybody was just having a good time, and they cared about one another and sort of supported one another. Was it that sort of atmosphere for you there when you were there?
No. No, I think
there we go.
Oh my God, who's the guy in the mustache?
That's it.
Holy Hannah!
I see 2 guys with mustache.
Oh, that's right. That's Bill Macy
and B. Arthur and
B. Yeah,
Richard Kline. That's right.
Yeah.
Very cool. So
there's no tension on the set, but it wasn't. I mean, B kind of ruled the roost and whatever. And I don't know.
Called the shots or what have you.
Called the shots
But what a great experience, huh? I mean, here we are. We're going from Mary Tyler Moore to Maude. I mean, these are top level shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after Maude, what happened after Maude? Then the phone rang again?
I don't know if I did a couple of shows. I thought I did One Day at a Time, but that was during Three's Company. I'm not sure, but anyway. So they called me in 77 April or late March. They called me in because I'd only been in LA for less than a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they called me for a guest spot on Three's Company, and I went in, I got the role, and then John and I immediately hit it off. And I remember Norman Fell came over to me during the break, and he says, "They love you. You're going to be back." Okay. From your mouth to the producer's ears. He says, No. They're going to love you. Oh, there's the logo.
Yeah, that's it. So
please don't ask me to sing the theme song.
Everybody has to
as they said on Saturday Night Live, Garrett Morris, baseball's been very good to me.
Yes, remember?
These companies been very good to me.
Absolutely has. Now we're going from, Mary Tyler Moore and Maude to Three's Company. Were you also doing theater in between, or were you fully immersed in the television world at that point?
That's a good question. I know I did later on. I did theater like in the 80s while we were doing Three's Company. I did a show at the Kennedy Center called How I Got That Story with the actor I did it with was a guy named Don Scardino, who's now a big time TV director, but also then they did it in LA the following year, and my co-star was David Morse.
Wow.
The actor David Morse. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you had this opportunity to be on Three's Company, and was it supposed to be a temporary thing, or did they think they'd write you in?
It was supposed to be a one-shot.
A one-shot deal.
Yeah, and then so they only did 6 as a mid-season whatever replacement, and they wanted to see how, and it just went through the roof the first time out. So the first airing.
Yeah.
So I think I came back in the fall to do a couple, and then they gave me a 5-year contract, and then they extended it another 2 years after that.
So
oh my gosh.
I remember this episode. You wanted to give her a kiss, and she slaps you.
Yeah.
She was a major actress too.
Yeah, Irene Tedrow. She was fantastic. Yeah. And I think the line was, "What is your name?" She says, "Martha." And I says, "Martha reminds one of vineyards."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You played that character To a T. How much of Richard is Larry and how much of Larry is Richard?
Everything of me is Larry. I'm desperate. I'm constantly seeking the approval of women. No, nothing.
And you've sold used cars too, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, I had
on the island.
No, it was a place in Cucamonga. I had a used car dealership. No.
So here you
Here's
are.
Here's the thing. Without giving you an acting class, because you haven't paid me anything. This is a free.
I'll take you to the diner at exit 20 in Jersey.
An actor has to use his imagination. He has to use, his gut feelings about things. He has to not necessarily draw from his true path, but perhaps from his imagination. And so Larry was just fun to play because you're sort of like playing, the devil.
Right.
You're being like naughty. So who doesn't want to be naughty?
Exactly. Was there anybody in your life that you could pull from that was similar?
I'll be honest with you, which is a good quality in an interview show.
I was going to say.
I believe at the same time, Bill Murray was on Saturday, because Saturday Night Live debuted in '75.
Right.
We don't know when Bill Murray came, but when Bill Murray did the lounge singer, act.
Right.
I totally incorporated that in one of the shows where I did To Dream the Impossible Dream, and I'm singing in Jack's Bistro. That was like pure Bill Murray. But somebody once said, I don't know, it was Laurence Olivier, one of these famous actors said, everybody steals from everybody else. It's like you consciously or unconsciously, you that's what happens.
Just ask Milton Berle and Henny Youngman, of course. The kings of it. So here you are now on this beloved show that, of course, everybody knows you from. What was that like for you? Immediately, another television show with phenomenal actors, perfect casting. I mean, incredible people, even Don Knotts on there as well. What was that like? What was the feeling like, the camaraderie, the set? I know you were friends. You were exceptionally close with John Ritter, of course.
Yeah.
What was that atmosphere like? As a viewer, it seemed like you guys genuinely were having so much fun and enjoyed each other.
We were. First of all, it was a very, very friendly set, meaning when guest people came on the set, they were welcomed with open arms. They were accommodated, and in subsequent years, I would hear from people who had been on the show say, you guys were so nice to me, and that was such a great set and so funny. Personally, John and I would just be goofing around in rehearsal, and I just wonder how we got anything done, because we would just crack each other up or whatever. And Suzanne was hilarious, and Joyce, they all were great. When Don came on, we were like blown away, because this is a guy who won 5 Emmys.
Yes.
Don is quiet off camera. There's my man. There's Don.
What was it like working with him?
Oh, he was just great, because we were, Don and I were supporting characters. We weren't Three's Company. We were 4 and 5 or 5 and 4, whatever.
Right.
So we were supporting. So we would sit, Don and I would sit off to the side and just, chat and whatever. He's very quiet, reserved, but boy, once he got in front of the camera, he's, come on, he's Don, Mr. Furley.
He was, yes. Yeah. He was.
I remember his first day on when what we did was we rehearsed 3 days in a rehearsal room and then go down to the set for camera blocking. So his first time on the set, he came down and all the crew was there. And they said, ladies and gentlemen, Don Knotts. And they all applauded. And he looked around and he goes, where are the cue cards? Everybody, we said, okay, we're in great hands. We're in good shape. Yeah.
That is funny.
I mean, Don and I went to Vegas once. And, the height of the show, whatever. And we went to, I think we were at the MGM Grand or the Riviera, it doesn't matter, whatever. And we're sitting in one of those lounges, and women were coming up to Don, and I'm going
To Don, yeah.
Well, hi,
I'm
Larry.
Larry.
Yeah, okay, great. So Don, he was like a magnet. Go figure, Jim.
Don Juan.
Don Juan, there you go. Yeah.
That is incredible. That's funny. And then, of course, you know, working with all the other incredible cast, Joyce DeWitt, too, of course, you guys together.
Yeah.
Really, that's a great shot of all three of you.
I love it.
Yeah. What was it like working, of course, with John, who really, you guys became friends, not only on set, but dear friends off set as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, it's been said by many others besides me, and I hate to, you know, be repetitive, but he was a comic genius. I mean, there's no question about it. And then, you know, after Three's Company, people got to know him as a person who could actually do some dramatic work as well and do it brilliantly. You know, the movie Sling Blade comes to mind with Billy Bob.
Yes. Oh yeah.
But he, you know, we both were huge fans of Jerry Lewis. It seemed like we both wanted to crack each other up whenever we possibly could. He could be serious,
sure,
very political, and I don't want to go into that detail, but he was very
having a field day now.
Yeah. Oh my God, he was so politically aware. He's funny because he came from, you know, Reagan pal Republican parents, Tex Ritter and his mother
That's
Dorothy.
Right. That's right.
You know, they were fiercely conservative parents, and John was liberal. He was like, you know, he expressed his opinions, but his dexterity on the set, his physical dexterity is, oh well, you know, John's falling, anybody can fall over a couch. Well, not the way, you know, he did like 19 different other things besides falling over couches that were physically amazing.
That's right.
The man could do 10 minutes with an ironing board. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that one show, it's called The Camping We Will Go, where he tries to get on a hammock. Unbelievable. It was like 5 minutes of him trying to get on a hammock and falling off every time. And the audience went nuts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But he had such energy and such spirit that it infected all of us and those who guested on the show. And we were pals. We were pals.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. We didn't go out to dinner with our wives, didn't whatever, you know, but we were set pals. And then we reconnected. I did a show down in Pacific Palisades called Art, and John drove all the way down to see it, and which thrilled me no end because that's, you know, really supportive. And then we went to a ball game with his brother Tom a month before he passed. And we had the best time, and we were sort of like in the process of reconnecting.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I miss him terribly, terribly.
Oh, absolutely. Gone way, way too soon.
Yeah.
His son's a great actor too. His son.
Well, he's got two of them. He got Jason
that's right.
and Tyler. But for a long while, I couldn't watch the reruns.
I would imagine that. Yeah.
Couldn't watch it. And then, I don't know, I think my wife was watching an episode a couple of years ago, and I just stopped in the living room and I looked at her and went, oh my God. And I remembered that particular episode.
With Don.
Yeah, whatever, you know. And
what was happening?
In my teaching, I had this, not elder, 50-year-old Greek guy, who's a wonderful, wonderful guy. And he said, that show you did when you at the restaurant where all the Greek family came in and they played the bouzouki and, you know, the opa. And I went, really? I'll have to watch that. I haven't seen that in 20 years. And then I watched it and I just couldn't stop laughing. It was just hilarious.
It's amazing how fans remember verbatim with some of these classic shows, not only the theme songs, but word for word expressions, what the sets look like. I mean, it's incredible, huh?
Yeah, and there's a lot. There's, as you can probably imagine, there's a lot of fan sites on Instagram. There's Three's Company Collection. There's Friends of Three's Company, and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm also on Cameo. You know what that is, right?
Yes. Happy birthday
I get
to you.
Cameo, and a lot of the requests are, they want me to sing one of two songs, which I sang on the Impossible Dream, which is the bistro, and You Are So Beautiful, where John is supposedly mouthing the words, and I'm in the bushes singing, You Are So Beautiful. So if you want to do a cameo with me, I will sing to you.
You are there. Absolutely. You do it all. So Mary Tyler Moore, Maude, and then of course Three's Company. When you look at Three's Company for you, just in terms of, this beloved sitcom that people still reference, that's still in reruns all these years later, as is Maude, as is Mary Tyler Moore. Where does Three's Company place for you in your heart and soul? It's biggie. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, it's constant because it's in reruns.
Yeah.
It's constant because the occasional fan mail or the cameo or whatever. If that's my legacy, fine, because I mean it's been on the air for like 41 years in reruns. So
yeah,
I can't deny my love for the show, but as you iterated about all my credits or whatever, there are other things that I'm really very proud of, and a lot of them stage work. I'm very proud of the very recent episode I did on the Resident.
Yes,
I played a guy who was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and there were 5 or 6 scenes I had in that show, and working with Veronica Cartwright, a spectacular actress. It was a tremendous experience. So, there's a lot of things that I've done that I'm really proud of, and that I'm glad I do. But I mean, Three's Company, you can't deny it, that that
as you guys were doing it, did you ever think it would be what it became?
Nope.
Probably not. Yeah.
And even after it ended in 1984, I figured, all right, there'll be what they call a first time rerun, and then bye bye.
Yeah. Right.
Then all of a sudden it's like, what, TV Land, what, Nickelodeon or whatever. I don't know. It's one syndicate took it up after another syndicate took it up after another syndicate, and now there's like Pluto TV and Antenna TV.
Yes.
And in Canada, there's Deja Vu, and
there's Decades and Tubi and Me TV and
TV. Right. Yeah. So it's never ending, much to the chagrin of my tax accountant.
You also have had recurring on Bluebloods, which is another fantastic.
I love working on Bluebloods.
That's a great series, isn't it?
I play a tight ass judge. I mean, next case, whatever.
Right. Exactly. Just to show some of the incredible range and the things you've done. Also, Fault. Tell us about this one.
Oh yeah, that's a 10-minute short. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That actor, Mark Blum, he passed from COVID.
He did.
Early. March of 2020.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
He was on Succession. That's the last thing he did.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Weren't you also on did you do a Columbo with Peter Falk?
Yes.
Yes.
And Bill Shatner.
Yes, exactly. Yes, too.
Yeah. My buddy, Dennis Dugan, the director who did most of the Adam Sandler movies, he directed that. And actually, we've been friends for over 45 years. And his first directing job was with what's his name? That he was a former football player, but I can't remember Anyway, I did his first directing job.
Joe Namath or
no,
Rosie Greer?
It'll come to me.
Yeah.
It was a procedural, cop procedural. I think it was on CBS. I'll figure it out later. Is it on my sheet there? Is that on my resume sheet? I thought you were never going to stop.
I was going to say, yeah.
I think you stopped after 32 credits.
Have we talked about It's a Living and No One Knows Best?
It's a Living was fun too. Oh my goodness.
Wasn't that? Yeah, that's a great one too.
Yeah.
The Resident, The Americans, another fantastic one. The Americans.
What a great show that is.
Yes. And that's one that I think a lot of people, we actually have a little clip from that we want to show because, you know, you're brilliant in everything, but you're exceptionally brilliant in this role. Here's a little clip of that. Tell us about your involvement in that. That was really a fantastic production.
Yeah. And there was another scene from that I did with the two FBI agents where they're asked, because Martha disappears, right? And they're asking me about, you know, if she's a spy or whatever. And that's all. It was an honor to be on that show. That's all I can tell you. It really was.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about The Americans like some of the best television ever. And it was. So I remembered the name of the show. My buddy directed the first TV show, Hunter.
Oh, sure. Remember Hunter? Yes.
Who's the guy? Who's the lead?
I can see him. Yes.
You see him too. Fred. Football Fred thing. Okay, never mind.
Let's see.
Yeah. You know, I'm no secret about that I'm up there in age, but
Fred Dryer.
Fred Dryer, thank you.
Yes.
Los Angeles Rams.
Yes.
So my memory's okay because I just did a play in Westport. It was a 3-act play. I never missed a line.
That's right.
Okay. And you are, Jim Masters. Okay.
That's right. You just did come back from Connecticut, and yes, and tell us about that production that you were in.
It's called Straight. Oh, there we are.
Yeah, Straight White Men. Yeah,
Straight White Men, and directed by my classmate at Northwestern University, Mark Lamos. Go figure. I hadn't seen him in like 50 years. And I got a call from my agent. They want you to do this play. And Mark is directing. I said, I'm in.
Yeah.
It was done on Broadway with Armie Hammer.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Josh Charles. But I play the father of these 3 sons, and they're all terrific New York actors. Reading from left to right, there's Denver Millard and some other actor, and then me, and then Bill Army. No way. Nick Westtrake. Nick Westtrake. Not Westlake, Westtrake.
Westtrake.
And Bill Army. And they're all great.
In Westport. Yeah.
Westtrake in Westport.
This is another one too. Sunshine.
Oh, Jerry Adler.
Yes. Tell us about this one.
Well, Jerry Adler was Tony Soprano's lawyer on The Sopranos.
That's right.
And he was a senior partner on The Good Wife.
That's right.
Now, Jerry started acting at age 58 because he was a world-class stage manager on Broadway. He was a stage manager for My Fair Lady.
That's right. What was it like working with him?
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
yeah.
When you work with these veterans, it's just so much fun to swap stories.
Yeah.
And this was at University of Connecticut in Stores, which, by the way, is located in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah, the northeast corner there. Right. Exactly.
They barely have phone service. No, I'm kidding. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous campus.
It really is.
Yeah.
Chris Corman is watching, and Chris wanted to know, did you ever try one of those great tuna melts at the CBS commissary? Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Did
Hey,
you ever
Chris,
have? Did you ever have a tuna melt there?
Just want to say to Chris, thank you for getting me involved in this, because Jim is a great host. He really is.
I
So
appreciate
thank
that.
you. No, I never had a tuna melt.
Tuna melt at the CBS commissary.
Is this a food poisoning joke? I mean, because no, I
Well,
never.
well, it beautifully segues into Broadway and Waitress.
Oh yeah.
From tuna melts to Waitress. Tell us about this. This was a fantastic thing, huh?
This show.
Yeah.
This show is so near and dear to my heart.
Yep.
First of all, it was the second time I was in a musical on Broadway. The previous one was City of Angels. Oh, there she is, Christine Dwyer. Yeah. First of all, I love what this show says for and about women. It's an empowering show. It's about abuse, domestic violence, and I play the owner of the diner, hence the name Joe's Pie Diner. And it was just a great experience. It was a 12-month tour, and then I came back and did it on Broadway, which was spectacular because people who couldn't go to Syracuse or whatever,
Right.
or Worcester, Mass, and I'm not putting those cities down. Worcester, Mass.
Yeah.
They could come to see me on Broadway. So, and Sarah Bareilles, who wrote the music, I got a chance to meet her finally, and she's only a musical genius, and that's about it.
That was incredible, huh? To be a part of that run like that. Yeah. And you had an opportunity.
I should have kept the bow tie because that's kind of cute.
That's talking a little bit about your television prowess. Also, in the arms of Vicki Lawrence, talking The Love Boat. Yes.
Exciting and new.
Yes.
We've been waiting for you. And Vicki and I Vicki and I subsequently did a play in Michigan at the Cherry County Playhouse in Traverse City, Michigan. Oh, there's Lyle Wagner.
Lyle Wagner and Jennifer Salt. Yes.
Jennifer Salt. Jennifer Salt's father wrote Midnight Cowboy.
Oh, that's right. Wow.
His name is Waldo, or was Waldo Salt. Yeah. And she was on Soap. She was one of the sisters on Soap.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah.
So you were on Love Boat. It was about 4 times, wasn't
That's
it?
correct.
Yes. Was it exciting and new?
It was exciting and old. My co-stars were Vicki Lawrence.
Yeah.
Morgan Brittany.
Yes.
Clint Black's wife, whose name is what's her name? Not Jennifer Salt. Jennifer Salt. Who's married to Clint Black?
Do you want to phone a friend?
Lisa. Whatever. Just 5 minutes ago, I said, I got it. My memory.
I was going to say.
I memorized.
And we started this show off where you were able to get $25,000 for that lady on $25,000 fair bid.
Lisa something black.
Lisa something
black. Clint Black.
Do you want to phone a friend?
You really should. Anyway, Love Boat was fun, and I subsequently directed Bernie Capel in
Lisa Hartman Black.
Hartman.
Yes.
I got the Lisa in the Black right.
Yes.
Who clued you in?
I have my sources.
I'm
a multitasker.
Yeah, you're talking to me and you're going on Google.
That's it. And Chris knew. Chris automatically said Lisa Hartman. He said it like several times. Hartman.
Okay. All right.
He said it as much as Mary Hartman.
Another great show.
Bernie Capel and my dad were best friends.
My dad.
Chris.
That's right.
That's it. Yeah. And
I directed Bernie in Rumors.
Yes, you did. Yes.
In L.A.
Yeah.
And one night, you ready for this? Because it was written by Neil Simon. one night, Neil Simon brings Dick Van Dyke, Wayne Rogers, and Jack Klugman to the performance in a 65-seat house on Ventura Boulevard in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I remember being sort of like off to the side, backstage, whatever, and just looking at and see if they were laughing, and they were laughing. And I said, "Thank you."
Yeah. To get that group laughing. Oh my God. That's incredible.
Yeah. Because it had been on Broadway, and you know, I got such great compliments. Wayne Rogers had invested in the Broadway production, and he said that our show was better than the Broadway production. So there you go.
I was mentioning that we had John Davidson on recently, Lucy Arnaz, Melissa Manchester. You were telling me you saw John Davidson years ago out on Long Island in the Fantastics.
He was 19.
When he was 19 years old.
I was
now 80, I think he said. 80, 81, believe it or not.
So that was a while ago that I saw him. I'll tell you what I remember. Two things. His dimples.
Yeah.
His dimples, which apparently are insured by Lloyd's of London.
Yes.
And his voice, which is incredible.
John Davidson, yeah.
Oh, what a voice.
And didn't you say when we were chatting before we went live that he was the first television talk show that you were on?
No, it was
Mike Douglas?
Mike Douglas.
Mike Douglas, yes. And John Davidson replaced the Mike Douglas show. That's right. So the Mike Douglas show. What was it like going on the Mike Douglas show?
Well, it was fantastic. It was my first talk show, and I had actually, watched a number of episodes of the Mike Douglas show. I always thought that his persona was very friendly and welcoming, and it was. He was great to us. I was on with George DeWitt, and we sang actually Whenever I Call You Friend, Kenny Loggins song. And they had a mini orchestra there. It was great. I'll tell you who was really fun, because I did a few of them, was Merv Griffin.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Merv was so. Merv, at one point, I was on his show with my golden retriever, Sassy, and they had the English lady who does walkies, whoever she was.
Right.
It's like this dog wrangler or whatever. And, my dog wouldn't cooperate. It was it was a minor disaster, but Merv was just freaking hilarious. He was great.
He really was. Yeah. It always looked like there was a good time. Did you ever end up on the Cavett show? Dick Cavett?
No, but I did Carson.
Yeah. What was that like?
Well,
once you're there, I mean,
that was like, are you kidding me? King of the talk shows, and they said to me before, when I got there, whatever, they said, "Now don't worry, Johnny doesn't greet the guests beforehand."
Right. He wanted to keep it fresh, I think.
I said, okay.
Right.
So I come out of makeup and I'm standing in the hall looking for a place to throw up. And Johnny comes out. He said, I hear you're doing a play up here in town, and how's it going? And I don't know what I said, something. No, I said, it's great. Thank you, Johnny. I really appreciate it. He was smoking too. I remember he had
Yes.
Well, I hear you're doing a play in town, and then how's it going? By the way, that's the worst Johnny Carson impression you'll ever hear. Okay?
I mean, it was pretty good.
Mr. Masters.
It was pretty good.
Where's Johnson? Where's Virginia Johnson? Is she there?
Off in Martha's Vineyard right now.
Okay.
Had to go find herself.
Because I loved your book about sexuality. It was great. And anyway, so Johnny, so I get on the show, and the ice had been kind of partially broken. But when I watched reruns of it, I thought I was talking too fast. I
you got it all in 5 minutes.
I think it was because of nerves. I was like, but it was a good appearance. It was great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think as I was leaving, he said, "I'll never have you back." No, he didn't say that. It was a thrill.
They didn't start the music early, did they?
No, but it was it was fun. That's all I can tell you.
You also had a phenomenal opportunity to be the wizard in Wicked as well.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about that, which is fantastic. I know people
what a
commented.
great,
Yeah.
what a great musical that,
I mean, this is showing you're really a versatile guy. You can do comedy, you can do serious, you can do all of it. And that's the test of a true, passionate, talented actor. That they can throw anything at you. You'll make it your own, and you'll take care of it. Yeah.
Well, when I was first starting out, I never thought of myself as a person who could do musical comedy.
Right.
Because even though I could carry a tune and had some voice lessons, I didn't know if I could do that professionally. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
And the first musical I did was a musical called "Do I Hear a Waltz?"
Right.
Do I hear a waltz? Very odd, but I hear. And I think it's a Oscar Hammerstein, Richard Rodgers musical. Anyway, and then from then on, I went, yeah, you can do musicals. So, don't beat yourself up, whatever. But Wicked,
yeah,
13 months on the road with what they call a sit down, which is where you stay in the city for like 3 to 6 weeks. So, oh, Kathleen, why Richard, yours? Oh, you're welcome, Kathleen.
Notice, Kathleen, he didn't miss that one.
No. I saw the heart and I went, yeah, okay, cool. Hey, Sam. Hi, Joan. My pleasure. Am I supposed to answer these people?
Yeah, they're all the Jim Master Show Lovety audience. The Loveties. They're absolutely
okay. So Wicked. I mean, the end of the first act is Defying Gravity. Elphaba sings Defying Gravity. And I'm backstage. And, most of the other actors, I guess they've been on tour before me. I trained with a woman named Adrienne Angel in New York. Yeah. She used to be married to Seth Riggs, who was a legendary voice teacher. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So most of the other actors, and there's like 35 people in the show, they go to their dressing room. It's the end of Act One. I would stand there in the wings watching Defying Gravity, as Elphaba goes up there and with the broom, and it's like, it always gave me the chills. It was like astounding. So, to be a part of an iconic musical like that, it's thrilling and it's validating, and Waitress too.
And Waitress, yeah, absolutely. Would you say that the theater speaks to your heart first before television, before film? Theater is still always there for you.
Yeah, that's my first love. It's where I actually, some people talk about stage fright. I don't have stage fright. It's because like I'm at home there. It's like I was born on the stage. Maybe it's a hand within me, which, it's not kosher, but still, I love being on stage. Did that get a laugh out there?
It did. Absolutely. Yes, it did.
Ha, 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 with the emoji. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, your Aunt Gloria in Georgia, she phoned in and she said it was hilarious.
Hi, Gloria. How's it
going? You also tapped into that 70s show.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Tell us about that. That was
I don't remember. Whose hair? Is that my hair?
Well, we're talking about the second in, the one that looks almost like Rich Little.
Actually, you're right. It looks like,
you do look like Rich Little.
If Rich Little and Liberace had a baby.
Right.
Thank you very much.
So what was it like being on that? I mean, I'm listing out now. You're following us, gang, right? We talked Mary Tyler Moore, Maude, Three's Company, all these other shows. That 70s show. I mean, even as the decades were going along, you were in some of the hottest shows that were on. Here you are in the show.
To be honest with you, Jim,
I thought you've been honest the whole time. Didn't you say that earlier?
I'm an actor. Sometimes I'm honest.
Sometimes I'm honest. Sometimes.
But, the thing that sticks out to me about that experience was that was my first reunion with Jenny Lee
Ah, that's right. That's right.
Now, who's the guy in the Harpo Marx wig? Is that? Is that Valderrama? No, who is that guy?
No, I forget. Yeah, I forgot that actor's name, but he was very funny on that show. Yes, he was very funny. So that was a fun experience being on that, huh?
Well, Red, I mean, he's deadpan hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And the wife is hysterical.
Yes, absolutely.
She should have her own show.
Mila says hello. Hi, Richard.
Oh, Mila, that's one of my students.
Welcome.
Mila,
welcome to the Jim Master Show Live. You're now one of our lovely audience members. We love having you here. And
Hi,
welcome. And Joseph Rhinone Jr. is here, and he says, "Good evening, Jim and Richard. I always enjoyed your performances, Richard, and thank you."
Thank you, Joseph.
Yeah, a lot of the comments, they've been commenting about how much they've loved you, Three's Company, but in everything else that you've done, they have followed along. You have also, done appearances and things of that nature, like Comic Cons, right? Tom Wopat and
Tom and I did City of Angels together. On Broadway.
That's right. That is exactly, yeah.
Those are when we were doing City of Angels. This is the early '90s.
Yeah,
we went to one of these hot bars, restaurants, pubs. I think it was called Charlie's, whatever, 48th Street, whatever.
Yeah.
And so Tom and I went there, and we sit down, and apparently John Schneider.
Oh yeah.
Was in town. He had seen that we didn't. He said, "Well, actually, Tom said I'm meeting Schneider here." And so Schneider walks in. I'm there with Tom, and I don't think we had any. We could not eat anything because people were coming over. Oh, I love Daisy Dukes. Is Daisy Dukes here? And blah blah blah. And where's Suzanne? And it was madness. It was just great. Tom is a great guy, a wonderful actor, and a terrific singer, as is John Schneider.
Right, exactly.
Schneider has a huge voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's performed often as well. Exactly. You've also you've done reunions with the gang from Three's Company of late. And there's one of the more
recent. That was the 40th anniversary show.
Antenna TV. Tell us about that. And I think that's Tamsin Fadal, I really was the host. Yeah.
Yeah. Tamsin, terrific. She's a local anchor here in New York on Channel.
Yes.
Yeah, we did that in LA, and it was pretty comprehensive. I think it was an hour show.
Yeah.
And there we all are. Wow.
Absolutely. That's cool. You were wonderful on It's a Living. Yep, absolutely. Appreciate that. You have an awesome career. Great. Our studio audience commenting here from around the world, saying some really great things. And Linda enjoyed you on Super Password. Tell us about that, because you have had a wonderful history with the game shows too.
Yeah. See,
and even did pilots.
There's two great shows to be on. $25,000 Pyramid and Super Password. And Bert Convey was a pal of mine. Because I used to play a lot of tennis tournaments, and Bert played tennis.
Oh yeah.
So I knew
he was a great guy.
I knew him before. Excuse me. I knew him before I was ever on Super Password. But I'm sort of like a crossword freak, and I love words. Yeah. I've been playing Wordle.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
On my phone, which is Wordle. Playing Wordle is like, if you have time to kill. If you're in a doctor's office or you're on a train or whatever, because I take the train a lot into the city, it passes the time like that, and it's challenging.
It is, yes.
So I was always adept at stuff like Password and $25,000 Pyramid, because I have a love of words. I don't know where that came from. And by the way, Jim, it's pretty much past my bedtime. I'm just kidding. It's only 5 o'clock in LA.
In LA, but you and I are on the East Coast, so we're. You were mentioning Bert. Bert, as a TV host myself, Bert was one of the best class act. Did you ever get on Tattletales?
Yes.
Remember he did Tattletales? Yeah.
Now you're bringing up my second wife.
Everybody's going to
Yes,
go to
I'm
the Game
sorry.
Show Network tonight, and they're going to look for the reruns of Tattletales, and they're going to search
No.
for this.
Hopefully, before this broadcast is over, we can bring up my celebrity judging on the Gong Show.
You know, hold on. Wait,
Yep.
I just heard that you did celebrity judging on the Gong Show. Tell us about that. I mean, we're talking about the pinnacle of.
Those were the days when I had this house on a hill in Bel Air, and I had this huge mortgage, and I went, "I'll do it."
Chuck Barris calls, and
I'll do it.
you are in. And who was in the middle? Was it J.P. Morgan? Was she in the middle always on all those episodes?
All I remember was going home and beating myself with a birch rod. I don't know.
But you also were involved in pilots for some of the game shows as well. To Tell the Truth back in 1990.
Oh,
yeah, tell us about that.
You know the story of To Tell the Truth?
A little bit, but tell the viewers. They would probably love to hear it.
Here's what happened. So, by the way, you brought up John Davidson, and you also brought up Joe Namath, because all three of us were up to host the new To Tell the Truth. So I get the job, do the pilot. They don't pick me up. They went with finally, God bless them, they went with Alex Trebek. But there were two others after me, and then Alex Trebek. I think one of them was Ahmad Rashad, and some Gordon Elliott from Australia, whatever. They didn't like his accent. I don't know what happened to him. So months go by, and I know. Let's say I aired it or I shot the pilot in April, and it was going to be on the fall schedule. So September rolls around, and the phone rings in California. It's my mom. She said, "I just saw you on To Tell the Truth. Why did you tell me that you weren't hosting?" And I just saw you. I said, "Mom, you didn't see me. You probably saw Alex Trebek." "Don't tell me. I know who my son is." "I saw you." I said, "Okay, Mom, I'll check it out." So I called my manager. My manager called Goodson Todman Productions. And yes, a technician in New York put the pilot on the air and not Alex Trebek.
Ooh.
So I was on the air for like one show. And then, so my manager, I don't know, because they're your manager, he chewed out whoever was over. So this huge, like a funeral wreath showed up at the house. We're sorry, we're whatever. Sorry for your loss.
Sorry for your loss.
That's not what it said, but it was like,
but very similar.
It certainly didn't say we effed up, but you know what I'm saying. And some cold hard cash, because that was like, we apologize. But here I am arguing with my mother going, "That wasn't me." And she says, "What are you talking about? I know who you are."
Yeah. Your parents, they got a chance to see your success, knowing that you worked so hard to achieve all of this. I would imagine very, very proud, back home in New York.
Yeah. My dad wanted to be an actor. And he actually tried. This was just before the Depression hit. He tried to be an actor, but he was one of 8 children. And then the Depression hit, and he had to support his family, because that's what you did then. So he went to work for his older brother at a food market on 74th and Lexington, and he was there for 40 years. So he was living, I know he was living vicariously, seeing his son on the stage or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And my mother never, performed, but she would always be singing around the house, and she had a natural singing voice.
Did she?
She had this glorious soprano, and I was like, wow. Yeah, so maybe that was in the genes.
That might have been in the genes. That's really cool. That's really fantastic. Yeah. You also, as I mentioned, you're a teacher, you're an educator, and you've been doing this, I think it was just 98, LA and New York.
Yeah, I started in 1998 in LA, and that was a segue from me directing, and I love directing. And I said, well, why don't I teach? Because that's like directing, and I can give students a feel of what it's like to get some knowledge from a person who's been in front and behind the cameras. And pretty much my approach is, what works, what is truthful, and what works. And because you're going for an audition and that's your job. The job is not the job you get, which would be great if you got it. The job is auditioning.
Exactly.
And how do I make that job successful? If I get the job, great. If I don't, maybe they'll think of me for the next gig.
Right.
But so that's when I got the urge to teach, and I just love it because I just love seeing students who go from this level up to this level, and then I've had some of them stay with me 6 or 7 years. It's insane,
And are they like? How are they structured for the viewers watching? Are they like comedy workshops or one-on-one?
Well, okay. I do a comedy workshop for an entity called Actors Connection.
Yes, I've taken classes
there. They have agents. They're
great. Yeah.
So I do that for them
in New York.
2 or 3 times. Yeah, in New York, and I did it out in LA too for other casting workshops. So that's one thing, but that's just very, very rare. That's everything. But my ongoing class is we do everything. We do Shakespeare. We do comedy, we do drama, monologues, I do exercises, and then I film or tape, what are they calling it now? Film? Tape?
Self-tapes. Yeah, you're going to do it at home.
A camera that records what they're doing.
Right.
And we rehearse it, and then I send it to them with notes, and we come back the next week, and we work on it, and I think it's great. I mean, I wish I had taken a class where someone put me on
self-tape.
Camera. Yeah.
It's a whole new world with the self-tape, huh?
Yeah.
And you adapted, with the situation with the pandemic. You were able to adapt because you were teaching over Zoom, right?
Oh, yeah. There they are.
Yeah, that's cool. So you kept it going even during through the use of technology, right?
Yeah, so I still have a Monday night Zoom and a Wednesday night.
So you're still doing that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I have people. There's people on this screen grab here from Syracuse, New York, from Miami, from Pennsylvania. So isn't that cool that they can?
It really is.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine you've had some who have gone on to successes and other things that they've pursued, and they
two of my students just did an off-Broadway one act play festival, and that was so great to see them in person.
Oh, that's cool.
I've had
and for them to have you be in the audience must have felt like $1 million. That's a very kind thing to go see them.
It was a joy.
Yeah.
Just to see them. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you're still doing that now? Like you say, Mondays you do the Zooms. Are you doing in person or any of that now?
If anybody's interested, my website is richardkline.tv, and all the information is there. They can contact my assistant, whatever. And I give free audits, I'm very much not like a guru. It's a very safe place to work, and there's a lot of laughs involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you can imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you look back at Three's Company, of course, do you have a couple of episodes or a particular episode that is your personal favorite, Richard?
Yes, I do. Would you like to hear them, Jim?
That would be fantastic.
Okay. Are we going to come for commercial, or are we still on? All right. So,
got to go to the boys' room, or
no? I haven't talked this long since I gave a deposition in my second marriage. Anyway. Okay.
But at least
you, Jim.
At least this didn't cost you.
I assure you, she's not watching. Anyway. What did you ask me? My favorite episode.
Yes.
Episode or episodes?
Are there more than one?
Jim. 110 episodes.
Well,
I think it was more than one. Yeah.
What is your top 3 favorites?
Wait a second. Can I ask you something? Do you have a co-host?
Yes, I do. Here he is. He shows up.
to?
He's always here. Mr. George Burns is always with us.
Great. Say goodnight, Gracie.
He's always there. He comes on every episode with a cigar. See the cigar and his hanky, his pocket square. He said, "You're knocking out of the park tonight, Klein." He really is enjoying this conversation. He's learning a lot.
Beautiful. And, personally, I didn't know you played with dolls. But anyway.
Family heirloom passed down to me and became
my favorite episode. My favorite episode has to be The Impossible Dream, where I sing in Jack's Bistro. Second favorite is A Camping We Will Go, and that's the show that John is on the hammock and falling off the hammock 10 times and hysterical. There's one. There's one. I think it's called Up in the Air, where John's afraid of flying, and he sits in a chair in the apartment, and I tilt the chair back, and I do the whole like takeoff and landing of a plane. See, this is why the show has lungs. What's going on there? Suzanne is breaking my arm. I begged them to give me that shirt. No, I didn't. I'm just kidding.
Did you get to keep any of the clothes?
No,
did you get
I didn't.
No.
I didn't. My agent in New York called me about a year ago and said, "I got a request from one of your fans. If you have the tiger bathrobe or smoking jacket, they'll pay $25,000 for it."
Really?
And I said, "Come on." And he said, "No, the guy sounds serious. He's called 3 times already." So I said, "I'm really not interested." And then I called Don Tafner Productions and I said, "Hey, do you guys have any of the costumes from Three's Company?" And they went, "No, we don't." They were real friendly. "Do you know where I could find them?" No, I don't know where they are. So I just gave up.
That's incredible. We showed the picture of you and Joyce. Do you guys all still stay in touch?
Oh, yes. Yes. Joyce is living in New Mexico.
Crystal remembers the Up in the Air episode.
Yeah. Hi, Crystal.
Yeah. She's mentioning that as well.
Yeah.
Larry saying,
yeah, that's the one. Impossible Dream.
Dwight had mentioned you had done some work with Adrian Zmed, who of course was on TJ Hooker.
I know Adrian.
Yeah.
When I was in New York doing City of Angels, Adrian was in New York, and we both worked out at the same gym. Yeah.
This is funny. Look at this.
Which one?
It Stretchmeister? I'm supposed to be memorizing Shakespeare for Richard's class, but I'm watching this instead.
That's Joe. That's Joe Stretch Paul. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe. Welcome to the show. So you love the teaching. You like really inspiring others and, paying it forward, and some great shots, too, of you over the years. You're really enjoying this. Somebody asked if there were a movie was to be made with Three's Company, would you come back as the character if that was the case of Larry?
What, like in a wheelchair?
That's what they asked.
You know what? If the money was right, I don't know. I don't know. It would have to be a hilarious script. I always thought that people say, "Well, what happened to Larry in the future?" And I used to say, "Well, he probably married Roseanne."
Yeah.
Roseanne Barr, and she would be like browbeating him. Larry, Get the bags. What's wrong with you? You're not going to wear gold chains. This is a private affair. Whatever. I don't know.
Is there anything still, again, you've done so much, Larry. I'm Larry. Everybody does that. Richard, you've done so much as Larry and not as Larry in your career. And again, the teaching is a beautiful thing to be doing, inspiring others and young minds who want to really pursue this, craft. Is there anything that you still haven't done yet that you've toyed with to say, I still want to do that, or I'd still like to tackle that or do that again? Is there anything out there that lingers?
Yeah, I kind of like to work for a cartel.
Any particular one, or?
I'm watching Ozark, so that's like in my head right now. No, my dream, to be perfectly clear, was to be on Broadway.
Yeah.
And I did that 3 times already, 4 times. No, not really. Just going from one job to the next. That's what I've been doing for the last 50 years. One job, whatever. You've heard actors say, "I did this, now I'll never work again," or whatever. What now? And there's always something. I have a short film I'm doing in Montclair, New Jersey, in August. That's freaking hilarious. That I
cool.
can't wait to start that. Yeah.
What are some other things that are on the docket that you're working on coming up? You're excited about?
Well, that's that.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, I got that from you.
Yeah.
I directed a Zoom. I call it a Zoomedy. It's a Zoom comedy.
Zoomedy.
And it's been nominated for some. Well, it's not nominated. It's on the list of short film festival in LA, and it's a finalist. It's called Mooch.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's about the wife of a mafia guy seeking witness protection, and it's very, very, very funny, and it was fun to direct.
We'll look for that.
Ray Abruzzo, who played Little Carmine in Sopranos, is in it. He's the most recognizable face in it. So, yeah,
that's cool. We'll look for that.
Yeah.
Chris was asking, is there a person you'd like to work with who you haven't worked with as of yet?
Oh, God.
There's so many people.
There's so many people. I just like to be in the same room with Emma Stone.
Yeah.
I think she's amazing. God, who else? Emma Thompson. Anybody named Emma?
Anybody?
Emma Thompson. Emma Sams. No. That's a great question, Chris. I don't know. I didn't work with Pacino, but I did a movie with Pacino called Jack and Jill. So I did meet him, and he was really kind of cool. But no.
Joan says, you're a handsome man and so talented. Richard, Larry, you're a joy. Come back on JMS soon.
Thank you.
Do you want us to print that one out and fax it to you?
Well, it's only if you have me, JMS.
Absolutely. Keep that porch light on. Sherry Larson in Kansas says, thank you, Richard, for all the wonderful memories. Your humor is wonderful. Maureen in Arizona. Richard, you are hilarious. I love your sense of humor. This has been such a great evening and a wonderful walk back in time. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Maureen.
Really, really nice. And I wished you and John and his father, Harvey Korman, could have worked together. Wow, that would have been quite a trifecta, huh? With Harvey Korman?
Totally. Great point, Chris.
Absolutely, yeah. This has been terrific. What are some of those continued, and there have been many, Richard, of course, but what are some of those continued blessings and joys in your life that keep you going and keep you wanting to stay in the game and still create and still be in the arts, and then of course teach others and inspire them? What are some of those blessings and joys for you?
Right off the bat, you asked me before what is my favorite venue, TV, theater, movies, and it's theater, because when you get out on stage and there's live and there's people there that you're either making them laugh or you're making them think or you're making them cry or whatever. It's a very powerful thing. I mean, someone has referred to the theater as a temple, whatever. And that sounds very, arch, but it is a temple, because people are sitting in the dark and they're watching you hopefully create truthful life. And that's a very powerful thing to be mastering that craft. And God knows it's taken me a long time to master that craft, but it's a very powerful and wonderful feeling to be on stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is. Yeah.
I've always felt supported. My parents, God bless them, may they rest in peace, always supported me. Never said, don't you think you should do that? No, they were always. So
they were right
you
there.
Don't think we cheer up, Jim?
I tell you, huh? Well, we want to show the range of emotions that you can do. They know just some of them, they're talking about the comedy, but you are a multifaceted individual.
Because I'm also moderately funny in real life, but I love doing drama. I really
do. Yeah.
It's a challenge, and it's fun. You can't say it's fun, but I love doing drama. I love playing the judge on the Bluebloods.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where I can channel into that part of my personality, whatever.
Well, they say, isn't it? They say that if folks that come from the comedic world, it's a little bit easier to take on drama than it is for somebody who's a dramatic actor.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. Comedy is hard. Dying is easy.
Right.
John Barrymore, thank you.
That's it. Well, I hope that the show here met whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you, Richard. This really was an honor and a pleasure and a lot of fun with you.
You're terrific at what you do, Jimmy. Real Scout's honor. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You know what? I've done a lot of these, and this was a tremendous amount of fun, and that's more power to you.
My father has always said, my dad from Astoria, Irish dad from Astoria originally, whenever anybody says something kind or nice to you, ask them to please put it in writing and address it management.
Okay.
Whoever the management may be, just admit. Nice comments coming in here. Very grateful for your time, Richard.
Thank you, Linda.
Linda. And Mila says that was wonderful. And
Mila,
yeah. I would love to see you go up against Selleck. Chris Corman. Have you done Shakespeare? Merlin in Canada. Have you done Shakespeare?
Yes, I have. There's a theater in Washington, D.C. called the Folger Shakespeare Theater. I did 2 shows for them, Henry V and Love's Labour's Lost.
Very nice.
Thank you, Merlin.
And Christopher, you're very welcome.
Chris. Hi, Chris. Chris is one of my students.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He's a terrific actor.
Thank you, Mary in Florida. We appreciate that as well. And Chris said his dad, Harvey, loved you, Richard.
Really?
Really, really nice. Cool stuff.
Wow.
I tell you, good.
That touches my heart, Chris.
Crystal says this was everything we all expected. A wonderful, memorable reunion. Good stuff. You're the best. Thank you truly for all of the time, this wonderful conversation. Really, I've always admired your work, your wit and wisdom, your talent. And I love the fact that you're paying it forward, inspiring others who want to go into this line of work. It's beautiful work you're doing. You've got quite a legacy. We had a lot of laughs tonight, but you truly have touched a lot of lives in an iconic way. And I know you're humble about that. In all of these different roles, all of these different scenarios you've taken on from film and television and stage, and you've knocked it out of the park, as George Burns had said earlier. And we will definitely keep the porch light on for you, Richard Kline. You are welcome back here at Levity Hall and the Jim Master Show anytime, my friend.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
You are very, very welcome. And again, gang, richardkline.tv. Check it out. Learn about the classes and workshops and all kinds of cool things that he's doing. He's a class act. Thanks for being with us, Richard. You be well, and we'll stay in touch and chat soon, okay?
Okay, but thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
The one and only Richard Kline here on the Jim Master Show live. I know you guys loved it because you've been commenting live, sort of our international studio audience throughout, and we thank you for those comments. Really an epic show. We really appreciate the time he spent with us. Mila, welcome to the Jim Master Show live. Gang, if this is your first time here, we would love it if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you can catch this episode again because we archive all of the episodes, some 700 episodes. A lot of folks from television have come through here. Stanley Livingston and Barry Livingston from My Three Sons. Marion Ross from Happy Days has been here. Denise Nicholas from Room 222 has been here as well. Glenn Scarpelli from One Day at a Time was here twice. We've had so many incredible guests who've come through. Melissa Manchester, Lucy Arnaz, Tony Orlando, John Davidson. And that's just to name a few. Kathy Garver from Family Affair. She played Sissy. For those of you that love the television lot. Yeah, some really amazing people. Donnie Most, who played Ralph Malph on Happy Days, was here on the Jim Master Show live. Anson Williams was here as well, who played Potsy on Happy Days. So many great guests, not just from television. As I said, Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, sports. We had Patrick McEnroe here with a quick hello from John McEnroe, tennis legend. Chefs and comedians and psychics. And we do it kind of like the talk shows that we were talking about. Mike Douglas, Merv Griffin, the John Davidson Show, Regis Philbin, Dick Cavett, Johnny Carson. Warm, conversational, fun with entertainment. And every show is something different. Every show is, poignant conversations, great entertainment, and so much more. Matter of fact, there's over 700 episodes of our series that you can binge watch right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. So subscribe to the channel. We would love that. And also give us a thumbs up. Really important. Leave a comment on the YouTube channel as well. If you enjoyed this episode or any of the episodes you enjoy of the Jim Masters Show live entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show series, click that thumbs up icon that's on our YouTube channel on all the episodes and leave a comment for us as well. We would love that. And when you do subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, there's no cost for that. Make sure you click the notification bell so you never miss any of the episodes. You'll be alerted. Boy, we thank Richard for joining us here on the show. Wasn't he epic? Truly. This was a wonderful exclusive conversation. Brilliant award-winning actor, theater and television director, acting teacher, of course, played Larry Dallas on the iconic Three's Company, but so much more. We talked about Waitress. We talked about Wicked, and so many other shows, all the game shows. We showed you some clips. We showed you some classic TV commercials he was in, Bud Light and Pizza Hut and Stovetop Stuffing, just a few. I mean, he's been in so many, but of course, Three's Company being one of the main claims to fame that a lot of people, of course, recognize him from. And some really fantastic stories he shared with us about what it was like working with the cast and all the members of the cast as well, and what it was like, on the set with everybody, some behind the scenes, lots of laughter. And they all worked, well together. And it was just really so fantastic, to have... We call these conversations. We don't even call these interviews. These are conversations on the Jim Masters Show live, kind of like Carson and Cavett would do. It's kind of how I molded this show. But again, when you think about it, he has been a part of our lives, Richard Kline, through television, stage, and film for decades, and still is. Of course, all the reruns for Three's Company, yeah, but all those other iconic shows too. There they are on the cover of TV Guide as well. I'll hide behind the TV Guide. And just really a great guy, a class act, and a wonderful conversation with all of your interactivity. I know you love the way we do our show where you guys are interactive with us. Wonderful stories he had working with Joyce DeWitt and John Ritter, of course. The incredible Don Knotts. Of course, you know, from the Andy Griffith Show as well, originally. Amazing relationship with John Ritter. And of course, all the other shows too. We really just scratched the surface. Love Boat. That 70s show, lots of laughs there. And Maude too. Beatrice Arthur. Mary Tyler Moore he was on. This was Wicked, of course. This was The Short Fault. He was talking about that. The reunion that was done on Antenna TV celebrating the 40th anniversary of Three's Company. He did the Sunshine Boys as well, which was another fantastic one. Yeah. And there they are. And there's Tom Wopat with him as well. He was just in Connecticut. He was mentioning this at the Westport Country Playhouse. Straight White Men was the name of the production. There he is on Broadway in Waitress. And there as well. Some terrific shots taken. Great guy, huh? With Joyce DeWitt as well. And during the pandemic, doing the classes over Zoom, which is really, really cool. Gang, if this was your first time here joining us on our Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show series, it's so good to have you. Spread the word about what we're doing here. We've done over 700 episodes in less than 2 years of our Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show series. We come from the New York area here, a greater New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area in the United States, along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. That's where this show originates. And you can go back and binge watch all those episodes. I want to let you know that we have amazing guests who are also from the television world. Coming up tomorrow, we have these two fantastic brothers who happen to be twins, and they have been, they were the twins. If you remember the movie Cheaper by the Dozen with Steve Martin, starring Steve Martin, they were the two twins in that movie. And then they were in Cheaper by the Dozen 2, the sequel. They were also the twins on Desperate Housewives on ABC. Brent and Shane Kinsman, twin brothers and actors, are going to be with us live. That's tomorrow, Saturday, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, here on the Jim Masters Show Live, coming to us live from Los Angeles, California. Check that out. We're really, really looking forward to that. That's really exciting. Want to let you know as well, on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, renowned psychic, medium, clairvoyant, healer, as well as singer, songwriter, and musician Gary L. Wimmer is going to be with us on Sunday. Recently, we had Stephen John Kalinich, renowned American poet and lyricist. He wrote many of the Beach Boys songs with Dennis and Brian Wilson. And we mentioned John Davidson was with us recently. Absolutely. Matter of fact, his venue up in New Hampshire has reopened for his second season, Club Sandwich up in Sandwich, New Hampshire. He was with us. Tony Orlando was with us recently. If you want some of the legendary, iconic guests, like Lucy Arnaz, she was here recently, which was really fantastic. Melissa Manchester was here. You can check these episodes out on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Last night, we had the incomparable Arnell Carmichael, and he played live for us. He's the lead singer and guitarist in the legendary 70s rhythm and blues funk band Radio, 4 gold records, Grammy. They sang the song Ghostbusters, Ray Parker Jr., and many, many iconic hits. He was with us last night. If you missed that episode, that was really fantastic. Check that episode out. I want to let you know, too, talk about people that are legendary. We have coming up from Las Vegas in July, Barbara Brighton, legendary comedian and actress, singer. She's been doing this for over 50 years. She does an amazing Joan Rivers. She's going to be with us as well, and we're really, really looking forward to that. Again, Richard Kline, iconic actor, director, teacher, joining us right here on the Jim Masters Show. It was a delight to have him here, an honor and a pleasure to have him here, and we hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let us know. Certainly leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Let us know how much you're enjoying this series of shows that we do, almost over 700 episodes that we have done in just 2 years. Just to give you a little perspective, I work in television, radio, and stage and film myself professionally. For those of you just joining us for the first time, I work in the industry, and this show sort of is an extension of that. I've grown out of that. In the daytime, that's what I do. I work in television on TV shoots and radio shows and all kinds of, I host a TV news magazine show and daily radio series with my co-host, Doug Llewellyn, who you know from the People's Court, the host of the People's Court. And then I do a travel TV series on CBS. I did a radio show for many years on iHeartRadio and a lot of things. And I work with public television, PBS, as a host and have for years. But this show sort of grown out of all of that. And we have done 700 episodes, which is amazing. That's a lot of levity. We say the word levity here because we say the show has a lot of light, love, and levity. One time I said it too fast and I said the word levity. Isn't that amazing? Over 7, and just as perspective, as I was saying, it takes television shows almost 10 years sometimes to get to 500 episodes. We have done over 700 in just 2 years, live, doing them live too. And that's what I love about it. I love live because, you guys are here, it's interactive, and it's like an old school warm talk show, conversational with entertainment and all the frills. But every show is something different with a modern twist and a modern vibe as well. Yes, we're talking about that. I probably will have him come on. We've worked together many years as well, Doug and I. I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of great people in this industry and the various roles that I have on television and radio, hosting a lot of different shows and still hosting a lot of different shows. Thank you, Jim. Another great guest. Let us know when you're on your own. Oh yeah, I'll have to post a list because I'm on several TV shows and radio shows that I do regularly. You guys, I know you guys want me to take this show to television. We've been talking about that. It'd be kind of cool to do that since I come from TV. Thank you for your kind words. Joan. Crystal says, yes, Don Knotts was great as Barney Fife, one of his many legendary roles. I agree. Hearts from Linda. Crystal says, Jim, you're the best. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate Richard Kline's kind words as well. He said he's done a lot of these kinds of things over the years, but he really enjoyed his time with us here on the Jim Masters Show Live. And when I have a guest say that, whether it's here or in my other professional work in TV and radio, and whether it's an interview or a conversation or just we've worked together and collaborated on something, I really am moved by that, and it means the world to me. And I hear that from a lot of the guests who stop by the Jim Masters Show Live. We usually chat afterwards. Sometimes we break bread. If there's somebody that I know personally, a celebrity friend of mine, that has popped on, like all of Celtic Woman and Celtic Thunder and some of the others, Glenn Scarpelli's been on twice, who have just hopped on because I know them. Sometimes what happens is some of the guests I haven't met yet. We've chatted prior to the show going live in preparation for it, but we didn't know each other personally yet. We know of each other's work, but we haven't, worked together yet, or haven't been a guest on the show yet. And then we become friends. I can't think of a guest that's ever been on this show who we haven't stayed in touch with or who hasn't said that they didn't want to come back. Sean Kanan, from The Bold and Beautiful and General Hospital, he's been on the show 3 times. He loves it. And he's also recommended guests. Chris Corman, our dear friend Chris, son of Harvey Korman, was a guest on our show. You saw him posting. He's a big supporter and fan of our show. He said Harvey would have loved this show too. We also had Kelly Conway on. That's Tim Conway's daughter. She was here as well. And so many great guests. So many great guests. Dwight wants a pop-up viewer show where I'm chewing mint gum. It's an interesting request. Will we have a sponsor? If you can get a sponsor, if you can get a chewing gum company, Dwight, to be a sponsor of the Jim Masters Show Live series, I like gum and I like mint. I'll be happy to chew their gum on our show. Kathleen, yeah, it's a lot of work behind the scenes. We've got some amazing people coming on. You know who's coming on? Two dear friends of mine, Monica Mancini and Greg Field. Greg Field is an extraordinary drummer and amazing multi-Grammy winning producer. Husband and wife, Monica. Monica I interviewed on public television a number of years ago. And absolutely, Kathleen, thank you, Sherry. And Monica is the daughter of legendary Henry Mancini. You know, the Pink Panther theme and Moon River, all these songs that he's responsible for. But she's a brilliant performer herself, wonderful singer and entertainer, Monica Mancini. They are going to be guests on our show, and there's many, many more. We actually have a waiting list of guests. It's amazing. It really, really is amazing. And we want to do some on-location shows too. I would love to do some on-location shows. Good question. My mother asks that all the time. One question, Jim, sleep. You know, I have to tell you, quite honestly, after I started this show 2 years ago, I haven't had much, and I probably could use much more good, solid Z's. Yeah, because what happens is, like right now, it's we're East Coast here, and it's 10 to 10, and I'm all wound up. And so it takes time when you're all, you know, Richard will tell you, being a performer, talent himself, it takes time to. So say we wrap this, you know, in a few minutes, it'll be 10 o'clock at night here, Eastern time. And I'm still pumped up. And I'll probably be watching, you know, some of the reruns of the game shows that he was on, and maybe Three's Company and on those channels. But I know I do need a good vacation. But my day work is very busy. I host multiple radio shows during the day, interview shows for a news program, and then television shoots with a television news magazine show. And then we're running around. Probably you see on Facebook photos of food because I host that lifestyle travel TV series, and we go to a lot of restaurants. And then my work with public television. But yeah, I could probably hit the hay and sleep like Rip Van Winkle but ever since we launched this show, it's been constant because, you know, producing the show, hosting the show, booking the guests, preparing everything, all the promotion. A lot of work. Christine Clifton's here, and she says, Jim, it was a real treat going down memory lane with Richard's incredible career with you both. Enjoyable conversation, good times, and laughs together and lovely haul tonight. Thanks, Jim. You are very welcome, Christine. I appreciate that. And you're watching and being here with us as well. And Crystal says, last night was awesome with Arnell Carmichael from the legendary band Radio, and they're on tour again too, so check them out. All fun shows, 700 episodes, and Relax as well. Absolutely, Merlin there in Canada, and you guys are the best. Thanks for all these great comments, and we really appreciate it. And Jen Barry in Pennsylvania's watching the show, catching lightning bugs with her Ken. Summertime magical. Yeah, it is summer. It's officially summer. And what a beautiful day it's been today here in the northeastern United States along the coast. We were blessed with 79, 78 degrees, mostly sunny. It was a little humid because there is some warmer weather that's coming up from the south and coming up the coast, some humidity. But it was really, really nice. It was around, again, about 78, 79, low 80s with a little bit. We're on the coast, so we're blessed where we'll sometimes get that coastal breeze that'll keep things cooled off a little bit. Maureen in Arizona says, this was indeed a wonderful conversation. Thank you again, Jim, for being number one, top of the heap. Da-na-na-na, top of the heap. These little town blues. Now you got me singing New York, New York, top of the heap as a talk show host. Thank you very much. I've done talk show hosting for years on television and radio, and that's why I enjoy doing it with all of you here on the internet on the Jim Masters Show. This is something that I've actually done professionally on TV and radio for years. National work, regional work, local as well on TV and radio, and I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. Crystal, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mary Bishop says, fun show. Mary in Florida. Kathleen in New York City, in where Richard comes from. Richard comes from Queens, New York originally, and you're in Queens, New York. The Queen of Queens, Kathleen Walker, here once again. This was awesome. Thank you, Jim. And our New York Mets are still, at the time of this show, in first place. I don't want to say anything too loud because I don't want to jinx anything. It's still early. It's still early. Yes, Chris Corman, you are the best. Chris is he's a dear friend of mine, a dear friend of our show, a big believer and support of our show. I think if he could climb Mount Everest with a bullhorn and say, I love the Jim Masters Show live, he would, and I bet he's already done it. He was talking about Glenn Scarpelli loved doing the show. Glenn is a good friend. Chris is amazing. And if you didn't see the episode, Chris was on with us. He loves our show. We love Chris. His father, of course, iconic Harvey Korman, you know, from everything, Blazing Saddles, the Carol Burnett Show, those routines with the iconic Tim Conway. Jim, thank you for another great episode. We appreciate all you do. Sherry Larson, thank you for being here. I appreciate that, Sherry. In the breadbasket of the USA, right there in Kansas. We got claps and hearts from Crystal. Linda says, great conversation. Thank you, Linda. Really nice to have you here. Crystal had said earlier, this was everything we all expected. A wonderful, memorable reunion. Thank you very much. Really, really nice. You guys are terrific. Good comments, lots of activity, lots of interactivity with all of the lovelies watching here around the world. Nice. You guys are great. Thanks again, Kathleen. Maureen says, I listen to Henry Mancini of Pandora after this show when I want to relax and unwind. I love his music. I love all that kind of music too. Easy listening, beautiful music, instrumental. Absolutely. It's good stuff. I have a huge collection of that, of all different, all of them. Percy, Faith, I mean, you name it. They're all there. You have a lot of dear friends, Chris. Monica's a dear friend of mine as well. And she has a great voice. Yes, she does. And they're going to be coming on in July. And I'm very excited about that. And many other surprises. Keep spreading the word, gang. A lot of people say, how can we help? How can you help? Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have, thank you very much. Click the notification bell so you never miss any episodes. Leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Actually, post a comment, drop a comment for us. That helps big time. And click the like icon and tell everybody about our show. Tell the world that we exist, that we're here, to check out some of our past episodes, to enjoy them, and to tune in. If you ever miss our show when it's live, don't worry, because we do archive all the episodes so you can see them all right here on our YouTube channel. We make it convenient. We make it easy for all of you. And we have a heck of a fun time putting all these shows together. So, and our set looks so good, doesn't it? Doesn't our set look so nice? Pan that camera. Yeah, set looks nice. Look at all the colors and everything. See that I Dream a Genie bottle there? Yep. And there, this in front of that guitar there, see the thumb? That's that wonderful plaque that talks about friendship. It's right there in front of the guitar. My thumb is pointing to it. That came from Mary Bishop, one of our lovely viewers in Florida. It says friends, and it talks about friends. That's what that is right there from one of our lovely viewers right there, front and center in front of the guitar, about friendship. We love that. and other beautiful colors and everything that we have here on our set. And sometimes we tweak it, we change it up a little bit. Breaking news from one of our lovely viewers, Jen in Pennsylvania says, Jim, our brand new Subaru engine was delivered today, and we are installing it into our VW 1980 pop-up camper van tomorrow. I've had Volkswagens, Passat, Jetta, yeah. Volvos too, Volvos. I had a Pontiac Grand Am. Remember those? Yeah. 2 Volvos, 850s. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Sherry. And everybody watching, we appreciate it. Yes, looks great. You love the set and all the colors. Thank you very much. Yeah, we work hard here, you know, putting a professional broadcast together. We don't want it to be stiff and boring. We change it up all the time. But, and I love doing it like a live talk show, not just an interview show. Because if this was just an interview show, we could pre-record all of these, and I wouldn't be sitting here live at 10 o'clock at night. I'd probably be having a nice bowl of ice cream, maybe. But there is something about being live. I've done years of live radio and television, and that's why I do like doing it live. And there is that anything can happen, and sometimes things do happen. Sometimes, you know, Wi-Fi goes haywire. Sometimes you lose power. Sometimes lights burn out, or sometimes the guest disappears, or they come back in, or you can't hear them, or they can't hear you, or that's some of the stuff that that happens. But it's all part of it. It's all what makes it unique and special, you know. Orange is your favorite color. I know that, Jen. So you must love the action and this corner, this area here, huh? You must be loving that area. That's Jen's area. If Jen was in our studio, Jen would be hanging out in the orange corner there. Orange-ish corner. It's copper, it's red, it's orange. Kind of cool. Gang, thanks for being with us. I think it's a wrap. You got a chance to see George. Richard asked about the co-hosts, or George was here as well. One last time, let's thank our very special, illustrious guest, Richard Kline, for being here. Still doing his thing, still working hard, still inspiring, entertaining, making us laugh, making us think, doing his thing. And just really a great guy. Thanks for watching the Jim Masters Show, gang. You are the best. We have such a great audience. New people discovering us all the time. If this is your first time here, we welcome you. If this is your 700th time here, we thank you as well. We don't say goodbye here. We say see you later. We say ciao, cheers, auf Wiedersehen, hasta la vista, shalom, sayonara, moi loop, slancha, take it easy, see you later. But we don't. So who have you not had on your show that you would like to have? I will be devising a special list, and I will send it right out. There are several people that I would love to have. You know, what's really nice is everybody that comes on the show really enjoys it. I heard from Tony Orlando. He thoroughly enjoyed the time with us. Lucy Arnaz said she absolutely loved it. All of these guests. And we love having them here. You know, I realize everybody's busy. We all have busy lives, even you. We all have busy lives. So the fact that you stop by and watch, whether it's live or later in the archives, and the guests taking time to have a nice, good conversation and some laughs and poignant moments with us, that means the world to me. And we don't take it lightly. We really appreciate their time. And we appreciate yours as well. So again, we don't say goodbye. We say see you later. Be well. Take care of one another. Love one another. And be sure to love yourself. Make sure, not in a cocky, egotistical way, just take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Be good to yourself and spread the sunshine. You know, the world is a rough place right now, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And so many of you have written to me emails and private messages on Twitter, and Facebook, and we get hundreds of them, and we try to get through and sift through them. You wouldn't believe the amount of messages we get, and we love them all. Thank you very much. But we get a ton of them, and that's just from this show. That's not even my professional work. But thanks for all the tweets and the Instagram messages and the Facebook messaging and Facebook posts, and for sharing these links, these YouTube episode links on your social media to get the word out and promote our show. We really appreciate you guys doing that. That helps us as well. But thanks for all of the notifications, the emails telling us how much you really enjoy